Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Shamanic Oracle, Voices of Truth. It's been a reading message coming through since this Imbolc weekend, but it was somehow incomplete until now. It's been such an intense energy, right? So, as we sit with the fire, if you feel called to receive, please just make yourself comfortable. Take a breath, center in your heart. Using the breath to come into presence in the body. Imbolc in Celtic, I believe it's in the belly. And it's also a fire festival, St. Bridget, and I've been really feeling fire in the belly. Personally, when I feel full of fire, it can rush through in quite an extreme way. It requires me to ground more into my body. And I'm observing how the body holds resistance. The body holds the past. It essentially is the past. They say we are what we eat, for example. So what I've been noticing, we can work on different levels of being, right? We can work in the energetic realm. We can be in the mental plane, the emotional plane. We can be focused on moving the energy through. We're essentially moving it through the body. The physical is the kind of last point of release and also of resistance. And there can be a huge amount of resistance to change. In the last reading, we had fluidity, the water coming through. And the fire burns through this resistance when we can surrender. And that's not always so easy. It can be challenging, right? There is, however, a huge amount of support for us to move through resistance. But we have to be willing. We have to allow ourselves. We have to be willing to surrender. What I've also been feeling since this very, very powerful weekend with Imbolc and after the new moon, and at a point in time space where there's a lot of planetary activity. Pluto has now moved, I believe, to 2 degrees of Aquarius, which is the furthest it's got into the sign of Aquarius. We're essentially feeling, it's giving us a taster of the Aquarian energy, of the air energy. But the fire in the air, very direct, very passionate. It's asking us to surrender in a way to our creativity, but sometimes in a different way. And that can challenge us, can challenge our minds, can challenge the way that we thought we would be doing things. It's not always the way, clear, that Spirit is asking us to move. We're being asked to move differently. Just the same as we can embody, and elemental embodiment is really around the qualities of the elements, right? So just the same as we spoke before about flowing around obstacles like water with the fluidity of water. It's also surrendering to the light, the fire, to burn things through that no longer serve us. But we can say that over and over again. I surrender, I allow. And then we hit a point where that becomes so uncomfortable in the body, right? So really dropping into your beautiful body, noticing where the resistance is. We don't really need to know what it's to. You know, our minds can construct all these things that we're meant to do. But where there's resistance, it's essentially the past, right? It's what we've always been, how we've always done things. It's not really relevant anymore. And a lot of us are being asked to step into something new before we can actually see what it is. A lot of us find ourselves in our minds. How's that going to happen? How's it going to look? And what we resist persists, right? So let's see where this is going to take us and what messages, what energy, what essence Spirit would like to share around this. So just allowing the breath to open the body and to be present, and to really ask ourselves, what does my body need? What does my body need right now? It might be very simple. Can we drop into the message of the moment without pushing past? So the first card out for you is a beautiful card. The mystical shaman. Very appropriate. This is the symbol of the myth maker and storyteller, who is neither made nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it, and in doing so, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not be too defined by it, or become too attached to the experienced. This is the symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. Now, I feel like here, the mystical shaman is reminding us to be aware, to be in awareness of the stories that we've always told ourselves. So just the same as our minds will attach to the stories, the familiar. This is who I am. This is my identity. This is what I've always done. It creates a construct which can often be limiting. Can we allow our bodies to create and carve a new path? Now, this might be for some people as simple as doing something differently every day. So where we have habitual patterns, right, they are our comfort zone, but they can often be contracting. Yes, they're comforting. Yes, it brings us a sense of stability, sometimes safety. But sometimes the habitual patterns converge into unhealthy patterns. Often our mind's spirit, the mysticism the energetic frequency that's flowing through, will be asking us to do things a different way. But we get up, we do this, I usually do that, I go there, I do this at this time, this is what makes me feel comfortable, this is how I've always been. Now, I feel like this is asking somebody to really look at making small changes to the way you've always done things. Even a gesture with spirit, small things, it doesn't have to be huge gestures. A gesture, doing something differently, doing something at a different time of day, having something different to eat. Maybe your body wants different food. Maybe you just walk a different way on your walk. It's really important to start to break down those constructs of habit. A lot of the habits that we've got into over the years are not really good for our body, not really. Even when we think we've been healthy, there is an overwhelming amount of information now around the toxicity that surrounded. It's coming through our food, water, air, the very lifeblood of what our body needs to function. So if you're being asked to change your food, change your diet, start a new exercise routine, do something differently, look at something a different way, even if that's your identity, are you being asked to perceive something about yourself in a different way? Question it. Does something feel uncomfortable? Something that you've always done is suddenly uncomfortable. It could be a relationship, it could be a job or a habit. It could be many different things, but there's a message here around allowing yourself to do something differently. Allow yourself to write a new story. The ability to dream a new story. You have that ability. So this is about being in the world, but not of it also. Recognizing that you are the mystical force of the universe. Recognizing that you have the qualities of all the elements within your body, which is essentially what makes up the physical body. Nothing that is physical, it feels very real and tangible, but actually it isn't. And as we're being asked to shift and change and grow, it's going to be uncomfortable. I can tell you I've had a lot of resistance in my body this week to moving my body a different way, to dropping the story of, I can't do that. You know, these responses or reactions that pop up when we're asked to do something different. Oh, no, I can't do that. Anywhere that yeah, but comes up, that automatic reaction, the mystical shaman is asking you to look at that. Is it a true story, or is it just something you've been telling yourself, which is based on your past limitations? Okay, and allowing yourself to create a new possibility around that. So I'm going to read you the invitation for this card. When the mystical shaman appears, you're invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. Now, this really is the message of the new frequency, the true frequency, the new earth, the true earth, the ascension, expansion, whatever you want to call it. We are expanding our consciousness, and we are expanding past being attached to our identity, being attached to ways of being, attached to thought patterns, attached to habits, people, places. You are called to create and dream your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on a known story of success or achievement, because what is known to us is old. It's based on the way we've always been. Okay, and we're being asked to release that from our minds, from the construct of our mind. Can you impartially observe the stories you tell yourself and others? What if you could become a mystery to yourself? What a wonderful idea. What a wonderful thought. Imagine if we could become a complete mystery to ourselves in each moment. Imagine what would be possible. Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? You do not have to live in a story that has roots in the past. What if there were no need to explain you to anyone, not even to yourself? The way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. This is a sign of manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. Coming out of the stories that we tell ourselves that have defined us, the stories based in the past. Now, let's just consider that for a minute and look at examine the ways in which you explain and defend yourself. How often do we go into an explanation of something? Do we feel it's necessary to justify, defend, explain? That's all based on shame, blame, guilt that anchors in an insecurity. It anchors in a way of the past that has been holding us. And really what the moment is asking for is for us to allow ourselves to break free from all limitations. And all limitations exist only in our mind. I don't know anybody that does not want an extraordinary life, right? I don't know anyone who, doesn't want to reach for the stars. But when we come to realize that it's actually our own thoughts that block that, and on the flip side of that, I'd invite you to really sit with, somebody needs to sit with their dreams. Somebody needs to allow themselves to dream again, okay? Because we can heal, release things, shift from the old. But what are we shifting to? Unless you have a clear construct, unless you are clear about what you desire, it's hard for the universe to really bring that forward for you. Clear about what we desire. Permission to dream, right? Permission to dream and allow the seeds that are in the ground that you've planted with your intentions in the belly, the seeds in the earth, what we've planted through our hopes and dreams, to really get clear on that. Open up a space that invites in limitless possibilities, because until we really do that, we are going to continue to loop in a perceptual box, to loop in what we've always known. Allow spirit and allow the mystical shaman to guide your imagination, to open your imagination to possibilities that you may never have believed for yourself. And ask yourself, is there any way in which I'm boxing myself off? Because this is a time to think outside the box. It's a time to really throw caution to the wind and nurture those seeds that we've planted through our intention, and nurture the fire in the belly, right? So Spirit, what do we have here? Oh, interesting, beautiful. Wow, the Earth Keeper, absolutely Love this card. It's so beautiful. Just take a look at that for the moment. You know, part of the symbology of shamanism is it's really about allowing our senses to breathe in the symbols and receive through all of our senses, not just through the mind. And a lot of us are being asked to step into our role. Warriors for the mother. The feminine reclamation is about coming home to the earth. Okay, right relationship with the earth. So the earth keeper, the essence, just as you're involved in co-creating your world, okay, and being aware of those thoughts, desires, dreams, and nurturing your fire, you're also responsible for the earth's well-being. The earth keepers are dedicated to the stewardship of the earth and of all life. They choose to hold the sacred dream of a planet where all beings live in peace and where the rivers and the air are clean. Remember that everything you do has an impact for 7 generations. So this is about, you know, somebody out there is being called deeper into connection with the earth, into a deeper relationship with their body, which is where we opened, a deeper relationship. Don't forget that your body is the earth, literally, in terms of what we're made up of. Okay, we are children of the earth. And the realization there is also the oneness, the togetherness. We are all children of the earth through our bodies, through our existence, through our breath, through the elements that make us up, right? So this is about the realization that what we truly desire is good for not just us, but for everybody around us. 2222. It's for the greatest good of all. Okay, it's for the greatest good of all. So this is for somebody to bring in a deeper awareness that what they wish to create is not only their birthright, but it's for all of humanity. Okay, our prayers are for all of humanity. The invitation: you have outgrown your small dream of success, achievement, and are ready to dream big. Now, this is what we've just been saying about the uncomfortability in the body, holding the past in the body. So our bodies will be really uncomfortable in relationships that we've outgrown. We're going to really feel it. It's almost unbearable. Personally, when I'm in a space where it's old, it represents the past, where I'm not appreciated, where it's looping in old patterns, it's literally unbearable in my body. I start getting pains, aches. It feels I feel like I'm being squeezed, like I'm going to explode or implode, or my head's going to, pop off or something. So the body will tell us, your body will tell you where you're meant to be and where you're not meant to be. It's as simple as that. Are you willing to listen to your body? To honor your body is honoring the earth, okay? Honoring your body and your desires is honoring the earth. Take on the mantle of the earth keeper and reach out to a friend in need who you may not have been in touch with for some time. Take care of your pets and feed the strays that come by. Clean up your yard. This is often a reflection of your relationship to the earth. Grow the sacred dream and your personal life will flourish. Remember, it's not about me anymore. This is about moving away from the individuality in the sense of the hyper masculine independence and what do I get out of something, and moving into a realization of the interconnectedness that exists between all life and honoring that. I'm going to read you the medicine because this came out sideways. So it's essentially the reverse message. So somebody needs to hear this. And it's an extension of what we've just said. As you care for your body, you show your care for Mother Earth. So begin with the stewardship of your health. What are you putting in your mouth? Are you feeding on foods and thoughts that are not good for you? Start doing what you know will be good for you today. Now, a lot of us in the old world have been taught that wealth is money. What's happening as we shift, as Gaia herself, it's the earth that's ascending and we're along for the ride as part of her. So our individual consciousness is expanding, but essentially the frequency of the earth as a body is ascending her consciousness, and we're on that journey with her. We're riding that wave. Your health is wealth. We know that already. But this is really asking you to look at your definition of wealth. The new economy, there's a lot of talk in the world now about finances, economy, all of this stuff, and it's creating fear. But essentially, the attachment to money and the system in the old way, which controls so many people through debt, it's slavery. We cannot be controlled anymore. What is dismantling and crumbling as the earth ascends are the old control systems, okay? Because we are moving into a space of the essence, the qualities of the divine coming through us, coming through this earth, this reality. So it's a felt experience for everyone, for all of humanity. And those qualities are respect, equality, dignity, freedom, the very opposite of the systems that have bound humanity for thousands of years. So what controls you? And by this, I mean what brings up fear. Where are we controlled through our habitual patterns, through our unconscious reactions, through that contracted feeling in the body of, I can't do that. I can't make that change. It's unknown. I'm scared. We're scared of the unknown. But actually, the only real safety is becoming comfortable in the unknown. And that's the switch that we're being asked to make. So for somebody out there, just take comfort in the knowledge that all of your discomfort is for a higher purpose, okay? And you're going to be okay. Even if everything crumbles in your life as you know it, you are going to be okay. Somehow, some way, my life serves me. It's all very well, especially us who we may be healers, light workers, we're kind of familiar with the speak, right? My life serves me. We can't just say that, but then crumble to pieces and have a trauma response when something doesn't work out our way. Okay, so we've got to look within, and the first place, the only place, the point of presence in the now where everything exists is in your body. Your body will tell you everything you need to know. And if you have really severe feelings of discomfort within you, and you know, that uncomfortability and fear, it's okay to feel fear, just don't live there. Recognize it for what it is. It's false evidence appearing real. Recognize where it is in the body. Move your body differently. Sound and movement is 100% key right now to moving old energy through the body and to changing those patterns, changing them at the physical level. We've done energetic work. We've been looking at energetic frequency, receiving healings, looking at mind, emotions, and it's still all stuck in our body, right? And this is why so many people are becoming ill. There's so many toxins, illnesses, mystery things that are erupting within the body that no one can really explain, because the body keeps the score. So the way to crack into that, small steps every day. Do something a different way. Take the action in a different way. Feed your body in a different way. Move your body in a different way. Nourish and love your body as the earth herself, and honor yourself very, very deeply as the sacred being that you are. Now, this is interesting. We've got a card here to follow, which is a very beautiful card. It's actually come out reversed. And I was feeling this at the beginning of the reading when we were the mystical shaman, and we were feeling into our desires, essentially our prayers. Okay, so this card is the rattle. The rattle is the spirit caller, carrying the shaman's prayer to the 4 directions. So your prayers, what you desire for yourself, for the world. Okay? When you pray, cast your prayers to the 4 directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. Now, in the last reading, authority came up. Somebody needs to... I feel like someone is praying with that kind of without their authority. In other words, they need to call in a sense of their true authority that comes from the divine knowing of who you truly are. When we pray from an insecure space, when we pray like a child asking for something, we're not bringing in the full true awareness of our divine authority as sovereign beings. Okay? When you pray for something, your will be done. The rattle guides us to pray for all of the earth, not just for our personal needs, okay? When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided for us. But this takes us to really anchor in that awareness of oneness, anchor in that full authority, your divine authority. Do you truly believe in the power of your word? Do you truly believe that you are worthy and deserving of what you desire? So this came out reversed. You want to catch God on the whisper, not on the shout. What you are trying to craft to your own desires and expectations is already there, standing before you. Do not spin the world to your own benefit. You are being offered the Creator's tools, which must be put to use to serve a divine purpose. And this is about us understanding the power of our authority. Who are we in this body? We are the highest technology. A human soul in a physical body is the highest technology. And this is where a lot of the fears come up because of the huge amount of conditioning, programming, everything that's happened. We could go right the way back to the Atlantean catastrophes with this, when we were essentially blamed for the fall of Atlantis. And by that I mean the technology that we were using at a very high level in Atlantis was essentially the technology that we are, our very essence, our energy. Our frequency in our light body, when we are fully aligned and clear and conscious and using that in aligned intention, it's the miracle frequency. It's all of the gifts, all of the the extra sensory. A lot of the senses we've lost, we've forgotten. We haven't lost, we've forgotten. So we've got our 5 physical senses, and a lot of us use our clair senses, but there are so many other senses that we have. Our whole body is a receptor. And a lot of our gifts, the technology that we are, including levitation, telepathy, all these extrasensory impulses that we have that are present, but we've kind of forgotten, we've tapped out. So that is all available, and it's coming back online. But do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your own power? And are you leaking the essence of your organic power, which is the same as the earth? It's the love light of creation. You know, where are we not fully owning the power of that, and where are we leaking that out still? You know, and this is why we, you know, when we spoke about making conscious the mental patterns of habits, for example, making conscious where we've boxed ourselves off and created limitations for ourselves with, you know, I can't do that, or that's too uncomfortable, or I'm not willing, and all these things, the decisions that we've made about ourselves, okay? All of those limitations are points where we are leaking our power out by not fully owning it and not understanding the power of our love light. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Spirit, do you have one last message for us as we close this reading? I'm easing in at the moment with these beautiful, they're my favourite cards at the moment, but my personal choice, and I'm easing into these collective readings with these cards, but I'm going to start to add some different cards soon. Okay, so we've got two cards to round off our reading. Wow, okay. Wow, this is such a beautiful card. Oh, look at that. And breathe in that beautiful frequency as well. Okay. The upper world is just such a powerful space to journey to, okay? The upper world is the realm of the divine, the realm of angelic frequency, divine helpers, okay? So our ancestral family or ancient ones. Now, the ancient ones have essentially, you know, the ancient shamans transcended time. They've come out of samsara, they've released their karma, they've released that cyclical nature of existence and therefore gone beyond time and space. So they are the eternal ones, eternal spirit, eternal love light. And the ancient ones have very wise counsel for us. So the upper world energy is coming through now, where all varieties of luminous beings are to be found. I'm just going to read you the essence of the upper world. The upper world is a place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It's also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. Okay, so this card, I feel like this is coming in to support somebody who is finding it difficult to connect to that fire in the belly, finding it difficult to connect to the fullness of the possibility that they hold, okay? Are you finding it difficult to envision that? You know, sometimes even our imaginations are limited by what we've experienced before, okay? So by connecting to the energy of the upper world and the infinite wisdom of the ancient ones and the luminous beings, we can discover our great potential. We can connect to and retrieve our destiny and undreamt of possibilities? Can you allow yourself to welcome and embrace possibilities that you could never imagine until now? The invitation from the upper world is that it's calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny, right? Now, distractions are, I can't do that. I'm not doing this. That doesn't feel comfortable. I can't see myself like that. The limitations we've imposed on ourselves with the stories. With the stories of who we've always been, the stories of our identity, okay? So in this realm, no such stories exist. It's a limitless space of undreamt of possibilities. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. I love this. I'm going to read this again. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Who's feeling that? Who's feeling the call to be extraordinary? Who is feeling that pull to something new, something huge, something expansive? And then what does your mind do? It goes, oh yeah, but how's that going to happen? So the upper world is coming in here as a clear message for somebody to step out of their mind, okay? Clear the distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. And I love this sentence. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. I mean, I've done that myself. Okay. I'm dreaming a new dream for myself. I'm dreaming a new reality. Oh, hold on a minute. That might be too big. Maybe I can't. So I'll just step it down a bit. No. So this message is very clear, okay? There's no half measures. So your work, for somebody out there, your work is to allow yourself to go big, go bigger, go hard or go home. Allow yourself to envision limitless possibilities. Do not settle for anything less. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is, in fact, the irritation you need to take the great leap. So anything that's irritating you, anything that you perceive as a problem, may not need to be an obstacle. Remember, flow like the water around it. Have an attitude of a solution focused. I am focused on the solutions. I am only concerned for new possibilities. Turn worry to concern and turn concern towards new possibilities instead of old problems, okay? And the energy of the upper world and the ancient ones can assist with this. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. All right. Now, I'm going to share a little story here because I think sometimes when we come to dream this big and we have a bit of a wobble, we have fear coming up, we're like, oh, it's too much, it's too uncomfortable. And then we kind of retract a little bit. We can maybe oscillate back into those old habits that give us comfort. Don't beat yourself up about that. We went out today. We went to Bolton Abbey. I've been feeling a lot of pain, physical pain, which is resistance in my body. I went for a walk anyway. I didn't really feel like it, and I love being outside, love nature. But something was going on, and I was just allowing whatever my body was processing to do that. But we came to there's a big waterway there. There's a street, a beautiful river running through, but it's very shallow. And there's a bridge across it, and there's also stepping stones across the water, right? So, my beloved was like, come on, we'll do the stepping stones. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, great. Today I'd rather walk the bridge, but I'm going to go for it. So we got about a third of the way out. One of them was quite quite wide. And I'm like, oof, did that, fine. We got almost to the other side, and then there was one which was massive. Like, I wouldn't have minded so much if I'd have been kind of summertime shorts on, but there I am with my boots. I'm already a bit cold. I'm thinking, I don't really want to fall in. Don't want to get wet today. It looked too big for me. And I stood there, and even he had a bit of a wobble on the way over, and I thought, it's too big, I can't do it. And I stood there and I was like, just do it, Sarah, just try. What's the worst that can happen? So what if you fall in? But the longer I stood there, I actually went into a bit of a freeze. And in the end, I was like, I can't, it's too far. I can't. And I made a decision, and I turned around and I walked back across the stepping stones and crossed the bridge. And for a moment, I had that feeling of disappointment in myself. And I think it's very easy for us to judge ourselves, criticize ourselves when we get to that point, and then we're pull back a little bit. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Look at the fact that you're getting closer. Look at progress, not perfection. All right? And when we can let go of the judgment of self, you know, I know that I'll do that next time, and that's okay. It's okay that I didn't cross all the stepping stones today. It's okay. It's okay to recognize, to feel fear. Just don't live there, and don't make it a habit. It's an old habit, okay, of self-depreciation, self-criticism, looking at the negative. It's a choice, and you can equally choose to acknowledge your progress and be okay with exactly where you're at, respect exactly where you're at, and know that, you know, sometimes we need to be a little bit more gentle with ourselves. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is a beautiful card to finish with, because it kind of speaks to what's just been coming through around the gentleness to yourself. The hummingbird. Now, the essence of the hummingbird is, despite being so little, hummingbirds are great journeyers. They migrate between North and Central or South America to feed from the summer nectar. This gentle creature can be fiercely territorial to protect its home. Hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and to protect our personal space. Hummingbird invites you to embark on your epic quest. Bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts. Head for the flowers and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. How beautiful is that? And really, like, when we can bring in the real gentle energy for ourselves, we make our life so much easier and more pleasurable. Life is hard enough as it is sometimes, and pressured enough without applying that pressure to yourself. Okay, so this very small but mighty creature is so powerful. Okay, even though she's small and she's gentle, all right, there's a power in that, and she knows how to protect her personal space, and she protects her personal space through that honoring of her needs, honoring of herself in each moment, honoring of the body, right? So that speaks to this. Embark on your epic quest. Bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts. Hallelujah. Head for the flowers and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. Now, the invitation here, guys, the buzzing you feel is the sound of your hummingbird wings preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. So, as we said a moment ago, like, you know, who out there is feeling something, feeling a pull, feeling a tug, like, oh, there's something there for me, there's something new, there's something different. Okay, we don't need to know what it is, just to follow to follow that. Learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. Okay, that's your hummingbird wings preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not the time to linger on what has gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and to take bold action, okay, to nurture the fire in the belly, to believe in yourself and take that one step, however small. Trust that success is assured, even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all will be well because all is in the small. So this is calling us, really inviting us. The hummingbird really invites us not only to bring in that beautiful, gentle energy, but to trust. Every step is valid, it's relevant. Every step is progress. Okay, and really nurturing that inner light, that inner fire. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams and your ability to expand into a new version of yourself. Okay, and just every time, this is a journey. It's not something, especially out of the mind. Wow, we've been so heavily programmed through our mind. There's so many layers of it. So gently does it. This is the journey of step by step addressing any limitations that come, seeing them for what they are, seeing the fear for what it is. It's false. It's the past. The mind only has the past as a point of reference. So dealing with that and recognizing that your body our bodies have taken a lot. We've been toxified from every which way. Okay, so really honouring and respecting what your body has been through, what your body does for you, bringing in that new level. Somebody needs to bring in a really deep level of honouring for their body. And really recognise what you've been through, not from that place of the story and the identity, but from a place of real deep respect for who and what you truly are, and that how amazingly resilient your body is and how absolutely incredible it is that you've been through everything you've been through and you still stand here now, with hope for a new day, with fire in your belly, with a dream for tomorrow. And allow yourself to dream bigger. Allow yourself to go for the full shebang, the limitless space, okay? Because it's all there for you. If you can dream it or vision it, then it's yours. If you can perceive it, then it's available. If you've been given a vision, even if it's just an instinct, a tiny, small, soft whisper of the hummingbird, if it's present, it's possible. Not only possible, but it's actually already in existence in another timeline. So surrender to that. Surrender to your fullness and allow the fire in your belly to really fire up, to energize the new creation that is you, the new space. And remember, we don't need to know what that looks like. That's where the mind wants to control the outcome, and that's limiting as well, because what's coming and what's possible and what's available is, oh my God, it's so much bigger and more expansive than anything we've ever seen or could have believed was possible in the past. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today. I hope this reading helped you in some way. If you like the way that I read, please like, share, subscribe. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all that you are, all that you're not. Thank you for everything that you're going through, your resilience, your persistence, your love. We've got this. We've got this. So believe in yourself. come into your body and honour yourself as sacred, because you are a beautiful, sacred being of love light. Thank you so much. See you next time.